There's a game happening in every room you enter. You feel it. A shift, a pull, something unseen. Someone smirks, and the room tilts against you. A single sigh from family, and you doubt yourself. In some relationships, you're always reacting, never leading. You try, but you lose because you don't know the rules. Others bend them without apology. Your confidence leaks away. Resentment grows quietly. This isn't weakness. It's blindness to how power actually works. You were told to play nice, to wait your turn. The world rewards those who move first. The boldest voice wins, not the most careful. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Want to stop feeling powerless? Stop waiting for fairness. The world ignores virtue. It bows to presence. Power is for those who dare to reach. Machiavelli knew this secret. He didn't just write about princes and power. He dissected human nature itself. He saw the world not as it should be, but as it is. And in that brutal clarity, he found the path to an unshakable, even dangerous confidence. A confidence born not from arrogance, but from a profound understanding of the levers that move the world. A confidence that makes you not just effective, but formidable. It's the confidence of a strategist, not a brawler. The quiet conviction of someone who sees the chessboard, not just the individual pieces. And it's a confidence you can cultivate once you're willing to look at the truth. The unseen war, appearance versus reality. Most people live in a world of pleasant fictions. They believe intentions matter most. They cling to the idea that transparency and sincerity are always rewarded. But Machiavelli would look at them with a knowing, weary gaze. He understood that appearances are often more powerful than reality. It is not essential that a prince have all good qualities, he wrote, but it is essential that he appear to have them. This isn't an endorsement of deception for its own sake. It's a brutal observation of human psychology. People react to what they perceive, not always to what is true. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone with less talent, less effort, less integrity rise higher? They mastered the art of perception. They understood that the game isn't always played by the stated rules. This is not about becoming a liar. It's about strategic self-presentation. It's about understanding the narrative others construct around you. And then, subtly, surely, taking control of that narrative. You become the author of your own story, not a character in someone else's. Consider the historical figures who understood this. Catherine the Great, a minor German princess, arrived in Russia ignored and underestimated. The reigning court saw a gentle, pliable woman. What they didn't see was the razor-sharp intellect, the relentless ambition, the meticulous planning. By the time her husband, Emperor Peter III, realized her true nature, she had already secured the loyalty of the army, the nobility, and the people. Her ascension wasn't a sudden coup. It was a long, patient cultivation of influence, while maintaining the appearance of a loyal, demure wife. Peter lost his throne and his life because he believed the appearance. Catherine became a legend because she crafted it. This same principle applies in your life. Do you appear to be someone who can be easily dismissed? Do you project an aura of constant need for validation? Or do you carry yourself with a quiet authority, an unshakable presence that makes others pause? Dangerous confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for attention. It simply is. It's in the way you hold eye contact, the measured pace of your words, the calm in your reactions, even under pressure. It signals that you are not easily swayed, not easily manipulated. You are a force to be reckoned with, not because you threaten, but because you are unreadable. You control the narrative of who you are without uttering a single boastful word. This fundamental shift in perspective, from reality to perception, is the first step towards Machiavellian confidence. If these insights are resonating, if you feel that familiar itch of recognition, then you're probably someone who's ready to build this kind of deep-seated, powerful confidence. And if you're serious about mastering these deeper truths, about seeing the hidden mechanisms of power, then I urge you to hit that subscribe button right now. Don't let these lessons slip away. This channel is dedicated to unraveling the brutal, beautiful truths of the human condition. It's for those who want to understand, not just react. The architect of necessity. Indispensability. Machiavelli believed in creating necessity, not just for others to need you, but for you to become so essential that your removal would cause chaos. He who believes that new benefits will cause great personages to forget old injuries is deceived. But the inverse is also true. Those who make themselves indispensable are rarely forgotten, and even more rarely abandoned. This is about building a psychological stronghold. It's about weaving yourself so deeply into the fabric of a system, a relationship, a company, a social circle, that your absence creates a void no one else can fill. This isn't achieved through emotional manipulation, not in the petty sense. It's achieved through competence, strategic value, and a deep understanding of what truly drives others. Think of the person in your workplace who, despite not being the loudest or most outwardly ambitious, seems to hold an immense amount of informal power. They know where all the bodies are buried. They have the institutional memory. They possess a unique skill set that no one else has bothered to cultivate. They are the linchpin. Madame de Maintenon, a mistress of King Louis XIV, famously cultivated this kind of indispensability. She wasn't merely a companion. She became his confidant, his political advisor, his moral compass. When others vied for his affection, she made herself invaluable to his mind, not just his heart. She became the quiet force behind the throne, precisely because she fulfilled a need no one else could. She became woven into the very structure of his daily life, his decision-making, his sense of peace. In your own life, how do you become indispensable? It's not about doing everything. It's about identifying the critical void. What problem does everyone else complain about but no one solves? What knowledge gap exists that you could fill? What emotional need is unmet? Once you identify this, you don't just fill it once. You become the consistent, reliable, and unique solution. You become the calm in the storm, the clarity in the confusion. This also means understanding where your power truly lies. A common mistake is to reveal your full hand, to show all your cards at once. Machiavelli would argue this is foolish. The man who is transparent is easily read, and therefore easily outmaneuvered. Dangerous confidence, instead, masters the art of ambiguity. It keeps others guessing. It doesn't reveal its true depth or its full capabilities. It allows others to underestimate it, to dismiss it, until it's far too late. They only see the tip of the iceberg, never realizing the immense power hidden beneath the surface. This creates a psychological advantage. It keeps your opponents off balance, always second-guessing, always wary. The strategic mindset, the fox and the lion. A prince must be a fox in recognizing traps and a lion in frightening wolves. This is perhaps Machiavelli's most famous advice, and it speaks directly to the core of dangerous confidence. It's not enough to be strong. You must also be cunning. It's not enough to be intelligent. You must also be perceptive. Most people are one or the other. They are either brute force, charging headlong into conflict, or they are overly cautious, unable to act decisively. The truly confident individual, the Machiavellian man, embodies both. The fox recognizes traps. This means cultivating an almost hyper-awareness of your environment. You notice the subtle shifts in tone, the unspoken alliances, the hidden agendas. You see the social currents, the underlying power dynamics, before they become obvious. This isn't paranoia. It's strategic foresight. It's the ability to read between the lines, to understand the unspoken rules of the game. You anticipate betrayals before they happen. You spot opportunities long before anyone else does. This observational prowess is a superpower. Then, there's the lion. The lion possesses the strength to act when necessary, but crucially, the lion also understands the power of reputation. It can frighten wolves simply by its presence. Its roar is a symbol of its power, a deterrent in itself. This is about cultivating a presence, an aura, that commands respect without needing to explicitly demand it. Your actions, your demeanor, your unshakable composure speak volumes. They project an invulnerability that makes others think twice before challenging you. Consider the historical example of Cesare Borgia, Machiavelli's inspiration for the prince. He understood both the fox and the lion. When he conquered Romagna, he sent a brutal enforcer, Ramiro de Orco, to crush dissent and establish order with an iron fist. The people feared de Orco. They suffered under his ruthlessness. But once order was established, Borgia publicly executed de Orco, displaying his corpse in the town square. The message was clear. Borgia was the savior, the one who brought justice and peace, even as he was the one who orchestrated the initial terror. He was the fox who created the trap, and the lion who delivered the ultimate judgment. He understood that sometimes you must allow others to do the dirty work, only to step in as the hero. This is a profound, if uncomfortable, lesson in perception management and strategic delegation. In your life, this means understanding when to be direct and when to be subtle, when to confront and when to maneuver. It means never showing weakness where strength is required, but never being so rigid that you can't adapt. It means using your intellect to spot the manipulation and your presence to deter it. You become the person who sees the strings rather than the puppet on them. The control of narrative, shaping reality. History, as Machiavelli implicitly understood, is written by the victors. But more profoundly, reality itself is shaped by those who control the narrative. This isn't just about big historical events. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the stories others tell about us, and the prevailing cultural scripts that dictate our behavior. Dangerous confidence stems from understanding this and consciously participating in the creation of your own narrative, rather than simply accepting one that is handed to you. Think about how modern media, education, and even social interactions construct narratives about strength, vulnerability, success, and failure. These narratives are not accidental. They are engineered. They dictate what is acceptable, what is praiseworthy, and what is condemned. The truly confident individual understands this subtle power of storytelling. They don't just react to the narrative, they reshape it. They become a counter-narrative, or at least a narrative that is robust enough to withstand the prevailing winds. Take the Empress Wu Zetian, the only female emperor of China. She began as a concubine, a position of extreme vulnerability. Yet, she systematically outmaneuvered every rival, ascending to the absolute pinnacle of power. How? She was a master of perception management and narrative control. When Confucian scholars preached female submission, she ensured her reign was justified by divine prophecy and ruthless political acumen. She controlled the flow of information, shaping what was said, what was written, and what was believed about her. She didn't just seize power, she engineered her own legitimacy. This lesson is critical for building dangerous confidence. Are you letting others define you? Are you allowing a past failure or a perceived weakness to become your defining narrative? Or are you actively crafting a compelling story of resilience, growth, and unwavering capability? This means controlling what you share, how you present your experiences, and the meaning you ascribe to events. It means understanding that your words, your actions, even your silence, contribute to the narrative that forms around you. It's not about delusion, it's about intentionality. It's about recognizing that you have agency in how your life story is told. The less predictable you are, the more control you have over your narrative. The less you explain yourself, the more others are left to fill the gaps with respect and awe rather than judgment. This takes discipline. It takes a conscious effort to detach from the need for external validation. It takes a profound understanding that true power often operates in the shadows of perception. The cold discipline, emotional detachment, one of the most potent and often misunderstood aspects of Machiavellian confidence, is a certain degree of emotional detachment, not coldness, not sociopathy, but the ability to separate your personal feelings from your strategic objectives. Machiavelli understood that emotions, while powerful, can also cloud judgment and lead to predictable, exploitable behavior. Men are so simple and yield so readily to the wants of the moment that he who will trick will always find another who will suffer to be tricked. Dangerous confidence means not allowing your insecurities, your need for approval, or your momentary frustrations to dictate your actions. It means maintaining a strategic distance from the emotional turbulence around you. When others are reacting impulsively, you are observing. When they are consumed by anger or fear, you are calculating. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about controlling its expression and not allowing it to control you. Consider the example of Charles Maurice de Talleyrand, the French diplomat who navigated the tumultuous seas of the French Revolution, Napoleon's empire, and the Bourbon Restoration. He survived by being utterly inscrutable. He was charming, polite, but completely unpredictable in his loyalties. No one ever truly knew his hand, so everyone sought his favor. He mastered the art of ambiguity, refusing to be defined by any single emotional allegiance or political dogma. This made him a force that could not be controlled, because he could not be predicted. In your own life, this translates to mastering your emotional responses. When someone tries to provoke you, do you react instantly, giving them power, or do you pause, observe, and respond with a calculated calm that leaves them disarmed? When you face a setback, do you wallow in self-pity, or do you analyze it dispassionately, extracting lessons for your next move? This is the core of Stoic discipline, woven into Machiavellian strategy. It's about building an inner fortress that cannot be breached by external emotional attacks. Your emotional control becomes a weapon, a shield. It ensures you remain the master of your own destiny, rather than a pawn in someone else's emotional game. The pillars of unassailable power. The game, as Machiavelli knew, is always being played. You are either a player or a pawn. The strategies we've discussed are not about becoming a villain. They are about becoming impenetrable. They are about building a confidence so robust, so deeply rooted in reality, that it cannot be shaken. This is the confidence of the architect, not the accidental tourist. It's built on specific pillars. The first pillar is economic sovereignty. Machiavelli warned that dependence creates slaves. In the modern world, financial dependence is one of the most insidious forms of control. Dangerous confidence means actively working towards a position where your financial well-being is not easily threatened or extracted by others. This involves strategic asset protection, diversified income streams, and an understanding of legal frameworks that can be used for leverage or protection. It's not about greed, it's about freedom. It's about creating a personal economic moat that protects your independence and allows you to make decisions from a position of strength, not desperation. The second pillar is social dominance through infiltration. Direct confrontation against established social narratives or systems is often suicide. Augustus Caesar transformed Rome from a republic to an empire by maintaining the illusion of tradition while subtly shifting all real power to himself. In today's world, where narratives are shaped by powerful cultural institutions, this means understanding how to navigate these systems without being consumed by them. It's about publicly acknowledging prevailing ideologies while privately building your own parallel networks of influence and competence. It's about sponsoring those who are loyal to you and your values, not just to a fleeting ideology. You maintain appearances while you build your true power base in silence. The third pillar is the strategic use of relationships. Most people either beg for validation in relationships or retreat into bitter isolation. The Machiavellian approach is neither. It's about maintaining a level of emotional detachment and strategic distance that prevents you from becoming overly dependent on any single person for your happiness or validation. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, maintained a court full of competing mistresses and courtiers, all vying for his attention. This competition itself was a tool of his power. He dated widely, committed rarely, and allowed no single individual to dictate his policy or his emotional state. His standards became non-negotiable because he wasn't desperate. This approach cultivates a magnetic presence that attracts others, while ensuring you remain the ultimate authority in your own life. Your mission, your purpose, becomes your ultimate allegiance. The fourth pillar is physical and psychological fortitude. Machiavelli's lion is not just a metaphor. It embodies raw, undeniable strength. In the modern context, this translates to peak physical fitness and unyielding stoic discipline. Look at figures who project an image of invulnerability, regardless of your personal opinion of them. Their physical bearing and their emotional control signal a deep competence. Your disciplined training, your unwavering focus, your ability to remain calm in the face of chaos. These are not just personal habits. They are public declarations of your resolve. They create what the ancient Spartans called fear without hatred, a profound respect and caution from others, without inviting direct aggression. Your body is a temple, yes, but also a statement. Your mind is a fortress. The final pillar, and perhaps the most crucial for truly dangerous confidence, is legacy building. The most impactful movements and individuals didn't win by being loud. They won by being patient. They planted seeds that bore fruit generations later. Your goal isn't just personal success, but the creation of structures, ideas, and influence that will outlast you. This means thinking intergenerationally. It means mentoring young men who will carry your influence forward. It means investing in ideas and technologies that will redefine power structures. The Rothschild family didn't just accumulate wealth, they built a system of financial influence that endured empires. You are not just building a life for yourself. You are contributing to a future, shaping the very currents of civilization. This is the ultimate checkmate. This is the Renaissance we must engineer. Not a nostalgic longing for a past that never truly existed, but the deliberate construction of a future where true competence, strategic thinking, and unwavering confidence are embedded in the fabric of society. The strategies outlined here will not only protect you from the currents of the modern world, they will empower you to reshape them. The war of wills won't be won with complaints or debates. It will be won through the quiet, relentless accumulation of unassailable power across every domain that matters. The chessboard is set. You now see the pieces moving against you. The social engineering, the psychological warfare, the subtle traps designed to drain your energy and your will. But knowledge without action is merely speculation. This is where we transition from understanding the game to mastering it. The path won't always be clean. It won't always be fair. But for the man willing to embrace these truths, it leads to a confidence that cannot be taken from you. It leads to true, lasting power. Machiavelli's greatest lesson was not about cruelty, but about profound clarity. He saw the world without illusion, and he charted a course for those willing to do the same. If you are ready to delve deeper into the mindset of this powerful thinker, if you are ready to fully explore the ruthless logic that can unlock your own dangerous confidence, then seek out the Machiavelli's Forbidden Playbook playlist. The link, as always, will be in the pinned comment below. Dive in. The choice before you is simple. Will you remain trapped in a system designed to drain you? Or will you become the architect of your own destiny, reshaping the world in your image? The game is rigged, yes, but the true question is, will you learn to rig it in your favor? If this has hit you hard, if you are ready for this profound change, comment right now. I am leaving my shadows behind. Let's see how many of you are truly ready.